Yo, is my mic hot? Yup, my mic hot. What it do? Peace and love. What up, though? What it do? What's popping? What's cracking? What's happening? Time 9, time 10. We in this piece. We in this piece. And as the title clearly states, this is an emergency. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because, y'all making, many brothers and sisters are making the decision to make a right or a left turn within this political arena that has never, ever, 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 ever been on our side. And not only that, it is responsible for I can't have talk, y'all. They are responsible for the murders of the people y'all rallying for, whether it be a left wing or the right wing or the same bird. Understand, these are the parties that are responsible. Their agencies, their subsidiaries are responsible for the deaths of Malcolm X, Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? And on, and for locking up many of our warriors, right? So I don't see no difference in between there. Y'all, it ain't about what I see. There is no difference in between a left wing and a right wing when it's the same bird, right? I know I at least got that much right. So let me get this together and put this message on here for y'all right quick, and we gonna carry on from that point. Where we at? That's a little bit too high. Bring it down. Okay, here we go. Be able to diffuse emergency situations and keep people safe. But they run around targeting folks. You see a car, it's purple, it's 9:15 p.m. Let's see what the fuck they doing. Let's see if we can rob them and kidnap them and sexually assault them and hold them for ransom. Because that's what the police do. Meanwhile, there are actual crimes taking place where people actually need help. And these motherfuckers ain't nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. It's abracadabra like a mug right in your face. Wow. Bae. Hold on. I gotta hit pause, y'all. Hold on. I don't know what they... Now my camera is on. It's just showing a chair. You can't see me. It's like I'm not even in the chair sitting here. Huh? All right, let me let this play out, y'all. I'll take me down and we're gonna deal with it. Now they put the shit back out there, so let me go on about my business with that Johnson & Johnson. But you see where I'm from. For real? Yeah. You wanna see it? Hold on, y'all. I got to show this again. Hold on. Watch this. Now if it come on, see what I'm saying? Ghost. I'm actually sitting in the chair, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a steal from me. Yeah, it's probably because I'm showing this video. This is something new. I've never used this on StreamYard before, so let me let this play out. I didn't want none of that shit a long time ago. But once again, that's on you. So how's the volume? The volume good, y'all? Because I don't know if I should let this come out the speakers or not. This is a new option on StreamYard. In your body, that's me telling you not to take a vaccine, or me suggesting that you do take a vaccine is just like me suggesting that you eat pork or you don't eat beef. Like you do what you're gonna do what you want to do. It's like me telling you it's okay to drink Pepsi, but don't drink Coca-Cola because it got bad shit in it. Like, that's not my business. That's a choice you have to make. But just because I'm not taking that shit, don't give you the right to come to me and start trying to explain to me about vaccines and how it works and it's the best thing that I can do and I should do it, for the love of the people, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. can be a PhD. I still don't want to hear that shit. All of this shit is too new. It ain't been around long enough for nobody to do any accurate research. You just can't. There's not enough data available. They're the best at creating distractions if you allow it. If you allow yourself to care. Or if you allow yourself to believe a bunch of shit that has no bearings on you and yours. That's how that goes. And this is going to be the perfect way to end the bill. Where's the other one at, though? It was, okay. Nah. This. Where y'all think I got this photo from? Oh my God, you would never believe where I got this picture from. Let me go back to the other one. I was hesitant to take this picture because this is a picture that I actually took with my phone. You know, I was at a place on 7 Mile Road, and when I walked in, I saw this photograph. And oh my God, is this? Oh my God, can I zoom in? See it right in the head. But as you see, he was packing. So this is not, you know what I mean? This is not some innocent person. At all. Good shot. This make me, I want to see what else is on here. Let me go back. Hold on. I agree. Yeah, Title 28. Like I said, you know, this is true. We know it's true. So they doing business and they forcing you to do business with them. You understand? If we were not registered and licensed and making such claims to be a subject, citizen of this said corporation, you would not be liable. You know what I mean? But being that this is information that most didn't know. Now, I once spoke about the statute of limitations concerning fraud being 0, right? Which I was right and I was wrong, and I was wrong and I was right, and I'm going to say it because when you have been defrauded, the statute of limitations starts when you find out, when you are made aware of the fraud. Okay? Now, we were not made aware, we weren't aware of these facts. But now that we are aware of the facts, we are liable for handling our affairs. Alright? So that means we gotta take care of this shit. Now that I know it. I don't want to do business with you motherfuckers. I just don't. Now that I know that you have this enormous debt, I don't want that shit attached to me. I know that you have an enormous military. I don't want the motherfuckers running up on me. I don't want to do business with you, period. That's our solution. That's where our freedom lies. Cutting the cord. You know, no more NBA stars for you motherfuckers. No more NFL stars. No more scientists and technicians. None of that shit. We cutting the cord. Why would you want to make, first of all, what sense does it make to make wealthy people wealthier? Answer me that. Why would you want to make people who already became wealthy as fuck off of the murder and rape of your ancestors? Why would you want to participate in making them wealthier? Not to mention, why would you want to do business with these motherfuckers? I don't want to do business with the motherfuckers who are responsible for robbing and raping and murdering my ancestors. And you see, when you don't consent to doing business with they slave patrol officers, the first thing that they say to you is, you're being non-compliant and you're resisting. What the fuck do they expect? Do they not know that we know where the fuck them badges came from? Hold on. Or is it that they don't know where them badges came from? Well, in the case of
I gotta go back.
Shit, we cutting the cord.
All right. Where we at? That's all I'm saying. And I'm still not on the camera. I don't know what's going on. This is crazy. Hold on, y'all. Now I gotta check some stuff out. Cause why am I not on the camera? Yeah, something ain't right. Something ain't right. I don't know what's going on. Like, all I see is my chair. This is crazy. How do you remove this? Edit name, remove. All right. Let's see if that works. I don't know. This is crazy. I ain't never had this happen. So my point of contention with my people was this. We know what be going on. You understand? In the Oval, in the Pentagon. You know, right now, where the stock market is at, the crash, because it did crash. I don't care about how you feel about tariffs or how you feel about China. Understand, Donald Trump don't look at China as his enemy, right? Right now, they're neck and neck. The US of A is still the wealthiest corporate entity, nation state above all. It stands over China still, right? But again, let's go back. Where your stock market is right now, this crash, it hasn't been this out of whack, and you know, people haven't lost as much money since April. What is this? April 21st, April 22nd of 1932. We are literally in the shoes of the people who were in the Great Depression in 1932, right? Again, your stock market, it hasn't been this devastated since the year of 1932. And when Donald Trump got in office, the stock market had never been better at any time. Just like right now, it hasn't been worse. This is worse than April the 22nd of 1932. These are the facts. You cannot debate it. There is nothing to be said, right? Nothing to be said that's good. So again, I do not recommend or endorse anybody who's endorsing any candidate, whether it be a Congress, Senate, whether it is out of the judicial, legislative, or executive branch. Like the fact that I see many people who, are getting or have had a reputation for sharing scholarship. That's not what y'all doing right now. Again, we back in the year of 1932. We know about 1929 when during the stock market crash. We know about the Great Depression, right? That comes post the stock market crash of 1929, right? But again, go look it up for yourself. All of you smart ass dummies who are still grabbing on and holding on to Trump nuts, right? And again, know that even if the Democratic candidate had won, you will be hearing the same shit from me. We have no business doing business with any of these people. So to see people celebrating, what the fuck are you celebrating? I understand that. Yeah, I know that. When April comes, the stock market goes down. Or every 20 years, my brother say, every April the market goes down. Now, every 20 years or so, it crashes. But it has never crashed to the level that it has been forced to crash to. And again, these are very wealthy people who do not have any of your interests in mind when they're making any of these decisions. So to run around, acting like you excited because you voted. First of all, you voted. Like, what kind of shit is that? And many people will say, well, you don't vote, so you don't have a dog in the fight. So why do you know why I have something to say? Because again, regardless to whether you're considering yourself to be an independent, a Democrat, or Republican, these entities are bidding to sit in that Oval Office and do business that will favor the wealthy. Not you, not me, or nobody else. And many times we'll look at the messenger, right? Many times we'll look at the messenger and say, well, this is somebody who's a bum or somebody who, you know what I'm saying, don't have shit. So they don't have anything to vote for anyway. Well, I'm not that individual. I got plenty. But I'm wise enough to know ain't no winning. When Trump won, he won. What the fuck did you win? You won nothing. Nothing. Out here caping for, man, look, let me, I'm about to show you something too. I don't, is not working. Man, I don't want to have to start over. Hold on. Something ain't right. Oh, it can't be that. Something is wrong. Okay, here we go. Now I'm in this boy. Okay, now we can get it. Now we can get it cracking. What up, y'all? So, like I just said, again, we know the stock market. If you ain't in it to win it, as to where you're gonna keep your assets in that mixture, you don't stand to see any gains, right? if you start pulling out as it's on a decline, right, you will never make that money back. That much I do know. You're not going to get that money back. If you don't stick with it, it ain't happening. But 2025 Gregorian calendar year, and looking back all the way to, that's almost 100 years ago. What is that? 97? 90? Look, the worth, when you make that comparison, the worth of the dollar, the fiat currency that, you know, is being measured and utilized in multiple nations. We've seen it fall, right? we've seen it fall. I understand that, but not to the degree that it is at right now. Not since 1932. And according to their records, again, when Trump got in, everything was fine as far as that portion. It wasn't just fine, it was outperforming. You understand? And he done went in there and put his homeboys on. You say 7 years? I'm saying 1932 to 2025, right? So 32, yeah, that's like, what's that, 92 years ago? That is mind-boggling right there. That ain't, nothing can be good about that. Now, if I'm wrong, show it to me. Yeah, 93 years ago. Okay. That's crazy. Right. I don't know what was wrong with my camera, y'all. It was on something else. So, seem to be together now, so we gonna roll with it. So, one of my indigenous autochthonous American brothers that's from the D like me, you know, and quite a few others I see, and even those who are in, I guess you can call it the limelight, you know, like a trick. We see these various melanated people rallying for Trump. Now, again, had they been rallying for Kamala, I wouldn't have showed any less mercy. Again, we don't have no business doing business with these people. We, you know, most of us were involved in movements where we were canceling contracts because we don't want to do business with these people no more, right? I thought this is what we all was on, or at least trying to get to. Not to run around promoting for these. Are you out your damn mind? First of all, we have unveiled multiple times over here that these people are a bloodline. So all of your favorite scholars who try to tell you that Trump is not he's not part and parcel of that particular regime, you're wrong. You were wrong. And I already proved it. If you got to look at, and the type of amnesia that, you know, our people have, I don't understand. I'm not trying to understand. First of all, Hillary, Rodham Clinton, she is Trump's cousin. So in 2020, in 2019, in 2016, when Hillary was running against Trump, Trump said, called her everything but the devil, said he was going to make sure that she goes to prison, and so on and so forth. Did he do it? Did he do it? Did he get her locked up? Or you are under the belief that her ties are so strong that he couldn't get her put in prison? These people are a bloodline. You gonna lock your cousin up? that was doing the same dirty business that you trying to, be top dog of? Again, he said he was going to build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. Did he do it? And did Mexico pay for the wall? How many years I've been asking y'all that now? Mission incomplete. Then I got another set of brothers and sisters who are supposed to be cut from the same cloth as me, making claims that Trump is telling the Siberian or the Asian Native Americans that they're not the real Native Americans that we are. You have got to be out your fucking mind. That is not what that man said. That's not what he said. And I'm aware of the Lombard tribe. Am I saying it wrong? Y'all help me out. All of these various executive orders that he signed on day one. So let's go back to this assumption that y'all have that when he said, you guys don't look Indian to me, who he was talking to and what he was talking about. If you missed it, I already released the proof on YouTube. He was talking to the Italian mob. And this was in 1993. But y'all was out here talking about this shit in 2019 and 2018 and right here in 2025 like this was something where he was referencing black people or so-called black people. And he was not. He don't give a fuck about you. Know that. He will be somewhere playing golf. This is about his legacy. Has nothing to do with you and anybody else. First of all, his family is one of the last ones to cross the ocean to get here. The Trump family didn't get here to 1930, 1920 or something like that. But that doesn't mean that his Germanic Russian bloodline wasn't already here. Some of them were already here, but not his daddy. You know what I'm saying? Not his parents. Again, they didn't get here until the 1920s or 1930s. They was nowhere in the picture. Nowhere. I'm gonna need y'all to, I don't know. I'd rather let y'all go because that don't make even a child. If it's just like if I keep lying to you, I keep telling you every Christmas I'm gonna buy you a new car, and then it been 4, 5, 6 Christmases, 5 Christmases that went by, and I still didn't buy you the fucking car. If it was me, you're not gonna be promoting me. You're not gonna vote for me. And again, I made that comparison to the Democratic Party. They rallied on they were going to eliminate the student loan debt. And I asked y'all, did they do it? No. Then we have this situation where Trump is now trying to fire the exec that's over the Federal Reserve, the people who are involved at the pinnacle of investing in the stock market. They follow him. They don't fucking follow Trump. Now Trump is trying to fire him, right? But keep in mind, in 2016, Trump was the one who appointed this motherfucker. So in 2020, when Biden Harris gets into office, they reappointed him. They ain't fire him, they kept him. You know why? Because they wasn't looking for the stock market to be doing what it's doing right now. So being that Trump appointed the guy, he has all right to fire him. Me, I wouldn't give a shit if he fire him and hire somebody else. I'm closely examining everything that has been done and everything that this line MF promised to do. You can hold your breath if you want to. You can hold your breath. I won't hold my breath. That ain't about to happen. You can forget about it. So, anything out of reparation, restitution, compensation, give me some more names. This, y'all, many of us, you know, carry this persona like we so motherfucking smart, right? We don't want reparations. We want compensation. I want all that shit. At this point, you have cities who are issuing reparations in their various forms, right? Whether it is cutting 25,000 checks for people to be able to purchase their first homes or whatever it is. But this is not a city or just a state situation. This is a federal. Who has the money? Federal. Who gives the states in their cities their annual budgets? The Fed. So anything that they do distribute by default is still coming from the Fed. But he's not having any of the conversations that would make me pay attention, other than him saying dumb shit and me laughing, or him speaking in a very uneducated manner and me laughing. But it's not funny to me when my people are amen in this cat. Nothing is that is a sickness. Something is really, really wrong. But when you have so much fake information circulating throughout social media and the internet, and you have people who willingly believe the shit, knowing that they cannot prove it. You have no proof. You cannot prove to me that Trump believes that those who we call Native Americans aren't the actual Native Americans. Again, you think that when he made this comment about you guys don't look Indian to me, which is a comment again he made in 1993, he was upset about the casinos. He was upset about the Native American casinos, particularly, what did I say? Connecticut? Was it in Connecticut? Right? He knew if his hands never got dirty and he was never involved with the Italians, how did he know that the Italians were running these Native American casinos? Again, that statement had nothing to do with you and I. It had everything to do with him being upset that the Native American casinos were not being made to pay taxes. And he, as a pale face, said, no, ain't nobody buying that. There's no way that you gonna tax me and you don't tax them. That's what his gripe was about. So when he looked and he said, well, you don't look Indian to me. Again, he was referencing the Italians. He was not saying that y'all don't look Indian, the Negroes are the real Indian. That has never came out his lips. But when you have the ability to take something and edit it and remix it and put it out there, the same way they keep doing with this Michelle Obama, calling her Michael, when y'all not even smart enough to go and look at the original footage and find out that Obama was talking to a guy who his wife had cancer or something like that, and his fucking name was Michael. He wasn't talking to Michelle. Yes, Connecticut. Like I then research all of this shit and put it out here for you all. But many of us, or some of us, are more comfortable with the lie, and that is why we keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. We've been lied to so much that me sitting in your face telling you the truth is unacceptable. And my other strike is the fact that I'm a woman. You definitely don't want no more than You don't want to hear this shit no more from me than you wanted to see Kamala Harris in the White House. Being that I'm not a voter because I don't want to do business with these people in no type of way, shape, or form. Again, I told y'all before the election, no matter which candidate becomes president-elect, is gonna, the effects for us are gonna be about the same. And I also said that either or candidate would be good for their business because they're gonna do good business for the wealthy, not for you, not for me, not for Pookie and Ray Ray, not for Lakeisha or none of you other people who I keep seeing caping for this cat. And it's not just him. It's not about him. It's about the fact that I can say from 1789, or we can go back to 1871, or we can go back to 1933. This is the same regime. This is the same bloodline. So it just it burns my forehead every time I scroll down Facebook and I see all this Trump ass kissing that many of us are doing. Now we're gonna get deep for a minute. There is a brother of mine who is, I say he's kind of popular out here in these social media streets when it comes to our scholars, right? Our conscious scholars, if we don't want to call it that, right? Who put something in my ear. He say, look, everything that you saying is 100, and we know this, but we are in a situation where some finance is trickling down from some trumpets, right? And with that being said, we can't do what you do. We can't say what you say. I said, damn. Are you serious? We know we done had sellouts forever. Since the beginning of time, there was somebody willing to sell us out. But if you're going to sell me out, at least be able to show me the little trinkets your ass got. Show me some tangibles. I see nothing. I see a bunch of brothers and sisters sitting on the sidelines still crying. I see brothers and sisters who call themselves conscious that may own a couple of few businesses who are still rallying for the Republicans, who are considering themselves to be conservatives, right? Understand, conservation, you start to call yourself a conservative, right? You know, you are more in line with their ideas, right? What, show me the benefits? You can't, because there ain't none. Zero. Now, if you are in this class of, you know, I won't even say millionaire or billionaire. If you are grossing more than, if your net, we'll just say your net, if your net is more than 200,000 on an annual basis, you know, you still ain't about to have shit to show. Nothing. Talking about a tax cut. We're not supposed to be taxed at all. So when you calling yourself conscious and indigenous and you rallying for it, make it make sense. I have yet to hear any presidential candidate within my lifetime speak about abolishing anything. What these folks do is they make amendments, they make modifications. They don't abolish shit. They didn't even abolish slavery. Again, I'm telling you. So we start talking about the 13th Amendment and the 20 missing sections, and none of that shit don't matter because, again, they did not abolish slavery. They didn't. Think about it. They didn't abolish no slavery. Hold on, y'all. They ain't abolished nothing. You know, they said slavery is illegal unless you are convicted, duly convicted of a crime, right? That's what makes it illegal, right? Man, if it's abolished and so be it. You don't turn around and say it's illegal unless, you understand? Unbelievable. I can't do it. What a video at? Let's get here. We came here to do it so I can get on up off of here. Since I got to a bold start, you know, messing with a StreamYard over here. Hold on. That ain't it. Let me roll it back. That ain't it either. So in particular, I was there was a brother, he shared an Eddie Griffin video, right? And Eddie Griffin is talking about the 13-year-old boy that had cancer that they made an honorary cop or whatever, you know, and I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. I don't care if, you know what I'm saying? It couldn't have been my son. I'm just telling you like that. Right? I understand that little boys like playing cops and robbers and Indians and cowboys and playing with Tonka trucks. And, you know, I ain't gonna say we, but they're basically raised to, they try to raise them, when you look at the toy industry, right, to want to be a cop. But we don't do that over here. We don't do that over here. And I'd be damned if I let Eddie Griffin be the reason that I make any political decisions. Somebody who don't even have a fucking barcode, let alone a degree in political science. And the same thing goes for Donald Trump. He may, you know, make you laugh, but when did this nigga make you think? I'm asking. Man, if y'all don't going on with that shit. Again, as I said before, my point of contention is the fact that whether or not you're rallying for Democrats or Republicans or independents, none of these people ain't on your team. They're all in the same business that we need to be trying to get out of ASAP. Be it the state of, the city of, or DC, District of Columbia. Come on, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna have to turn this other music off. It's my favorite word, ain't it? Hold on. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna pause it. Here we go. Not to be a pit bull. It's a pit bull. I can't teach the dog to now be a cat. It's a dog. So as far as them making statements concerning defunding the police or even disarming them or basically going in, because this is what they're highlighting right now. What the blood club? Come on, man. Wow. This is donuts. Come back and see what happened. It was a criminal mob gang with these badges. And they still exist. That's like me trying to teach a pit bull right? And let's say in 1879, we create a trash company, right? We collect trash. This is what we do. Later on, these items that we were picking up, it was found to be that they were actual items that belonged to other people. Okay? So in 2021, will we still be allowed to run that type of establishment or business? I know that's a whack-ass example, but I'm trying to get your glasses clean. I'm trying to get you to see the picture for what it is. This is not new behavior. This is not a matter of a corrupt police department. They were corrupt from their creations. It was a criminal mob gang with these badges. And they still exist. That's like me trying to teach a pit bull. It's a pit bull. I can't teach the dog to now be a cat. It's a dog. So as far as them making statements concerning defunding the police or even disarming them or basically going in, because this is what they're highlighting right now. They're going into Minnesota. When I say they, I'm talking about their daddies, the feds. They're going to go in and do investigations on the police departments to try to seed out the bad apples. When the tree is rotten, it's not a matter of getting rid of the bad apples. It's a rotten tree. They function as a legal criminal organization, which makes no sense, right? It's a legal criminal organization. Yeah, I guess because their daddy is the largest and most corrupt corporation known to man. And then they're the wealthiest on top of that. We keep forgetting the fact that, okay, we dealt with the pedophilia and the child trafficking or human trafficking, which is the same shit. It's the same picture. But we seem to forget. We'll watch snowfall and it's right in your face that when it comes to the destruction in our neighborhoods concerning the drug epidemics, where are the drugs coming from? What pop? This is giving me many problems. I don't know why. So this is what we gonna do, right? So after years railing against immigrants coming to America, Donald Trump signed an executive order Friday to prioritize the U.S. resettlement of white South African refugees suffering from what he called government-sponsored race discrimination. The Afrikaners, this is what they call the whites in South Africa where Elon Musk is from. The Afrikaners, who largely benefited as white people, where is it? Hold on. Who largely benefited as white people from the historically racial discriminatory system of apartheid in South Africa will be resettled in America through the U.S. refugee program. So he's kicking out the Latinos or the Hispanics, right? Or your cousins. But he's going to allow those who participated in apartheid, the Afrikaners, the white South Africans from South Africa, to come into America and resettle. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? You have people from Kenya, from Nigeria, from Brazil, from China who are crossing the border into America because they're not allowed to get visas to come over here. I'm not saying all of them, right? But for the most part, it's just not people from Central and South America who are crossing the border. You got people from all around the world. They going around their ass to get to their thumb. Right? You ever went around your butt to get to your thumb? Well, if you had to, because you didn't want to get on the I-10, right? You ain't want to get on the I-10 because of the slave patrol or the highwaymen. So you took an alternative route. That's what these people did. They took an alternative route to get to where they were trying to go. But here it is, a bunch of known racists. They are known to be racist on a global scale. Like your boy Elon Musk daddy. He's giving them special privileges to come over here. And this is a fact that you can find. Right? This is not AI generated. This is not none of that shit. But yet, I don't see melanated people who are rallying for Trump even touching this. And if I was you, I wouldn't touch it either. Man, y'all are tripping. See, my computer tripping. That's what's tripping. I can't. There's no way in the year of 2025 that I can look at a grown melanated man who is riding Trump Ramboni. We'll just call it a Ramboni. They riding his jock. And I'm supposed to respect you? I'm supposed to look at you as some type of scholar? Hell to the no. Now, if you did like my brother did and hit me up and explain as to why you're promoting Trump, and in particular, this brother right here who I'm talking about, I don't see him promoting Trump no more. I just put it like that. Because in a real scholarly community, that is a horrible look. To be rallying for a Democrat or a Republican and try to stand on your square and be respected by scholars as a scholar, it don't happen like that. That's not how life works. Now, it may work that way for you on social media, and you get a bunch of other amnesia having dummies following you. If that toots your horn, then you a weirdo anyway. But for me to look at this with my own two eyes and see brothers and sisters who are my senior participate in, like, for example, Judge Joe Brown. Anytime one of our melanated children, men or women, are faced with charges for defending themselves, whether it be against police or whether it just be against a Karen or whoever it is, Judge Brown, do you notice he ain't never on your team? Never. The brother, the 17-year-old young man, what's his name, in Texas, who is being charged with defending himself. Judge Brown then drugged that young man like. But then when you look at the one of the two white boys, the one that he allegedly stabbed, when you look at their father and the fact that he has sexual assault charges against him and all kind of shit, but then you look back over at the young man, he got the same name as a basketball player. What's his name? Carmelo Anthony. This is a straight A student, right? His parents are very much involved in his life. Like, he has 1,000 things in his favor. He had what we call a bright future ahead of him before he had this encounter with these two white boys. We have these lessons multiple times over and over and over again. So it's a sad day when a 40 and 50 and 60-year-old so-called black man is trying to tell me that we need to get behind Trump, or we need to support Trump, or we need to get behind Biden and we need to support Biden. And you look at these people's agendas, like the Agenda 2025, or what do they call that shit? How many times have we listened to lies being told from the Oval Office, no matter who's in there, whether it was Obama, whether it was Reagan, whether it was Clinton, whether it was Daddy Bush or son, or the George W. Bush, right? We've been lied to over and over and over again. And the only solution that some of y'all could come up with is, we tired of the Democrats. We tired of them. You know, shit, I'm tired of all of them. I don't want to do business with any of them. I don't want them involved in any of my affairs. It's just like saying that, your doctor said you shouldn't drink pop, or what y'all call soda pop, some of y'all, soda or whatever, right? And you are an avid Pepsi drinker, like I just said earlier. So you gonna switch to Coke instead of Pepsi when you know you ain't supposed to be drinking no pop or no soda pop at all. That's just dumb. Dumb. And that's how I see y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I see you as being fucking incompetent, and will tell you to your face if the opportunity ever presents itself. Because you don't have shit to show for voting for Trump. You got nothing. Zero. I know you got nothing, because if you had something, you'll be showing it to me. You'll be showing me your stock portfolio, right? You'll be showing me your real estate portfolio. Both of them businesses is in the toilet. A house that you could buy 2 years ago, you know what I'm saying, for like maybe $70,000, $80,000, $90,000, it's costing you $350,000 and $400,000 for the same damn house. But that's based off of the politics on both sides, not just the politics of what's his name, Trump. Not just based off of his politics, that's based off the politics all the way around. Again, if my cousin and her husband were in the Oval Office for 8 years, because again, like I just told you, Trump and Hillary are cousins. Donald J. Trump and Hillary Rodham Clinton are cousins. So eventually, he already knew he was going to get his turn. He knew I would much rather listen to The Simpsons and believe everything on The Simpsons before I will believe anything coming out of a senator's mouth, a governor's mouth. And then let me just say this. Oh man, nobody in my lifetime, I have not witnessed a president lie as much as this motherfucker lies. Reagan ain't even lied as much. So what you're saying to me is you enjoy being played with, right? What else could it be? I don't want nobody playing with me. I'm too old for that shit. You go play with your kids. Go play with in his case, go play with your children, your great-grand and your grandchildren. Don't play with me. This shit is not a game. Where is that? I'm about to find it. Hold up, y'all. I know. I usually be prepared, and sometimes I don't. But this, this is one of them situations where I feel like Nasir Jones. It is not hard to tell. Like it don't take a rocket scientist to figure out any of this. I'm in the wrong one. It's the wrong one. Hold on. Yeah, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that the wealthy is gonna always be for the wealthy, and Trump is a part of that class. He don't have no intentions on doing shit. You haven't heard him mention anything about a reparations, not even a damn platinum plan. And Cube, when Ice Cube went to the Democrats and they turned them away and told them, they're schedule a meeting with him another time, not right now, because they trying to make sure they secure their position in the White House. But Trump opened the door to him. Told him, come on in. It's Ice Cube. It's from next Friday, niggas with attitude, come on in here. Right? And that been over 5 years ago. We have yet to see anything. And nothing that he talks about or promises to do has anything to do with us. So again, for all you brothers and sisters that are on Facebook, I see you. I see what you look like. Ain't none of y'all wealthy. Not now one of you are a billionaires. Now one of you motherfuckers are even multi-millionaires. We got a couple. We got a couple millionaires within the conscious community. Not a lot. We got a couple. But the ones that I know of, I don't see them rallying for Trump. Right? What I hear is a bunch of complaints about their annual tax debt. Excuse me. Again, this is something that we not even supposed to have to deal with. But being that y'all want to go out and you want to claim to be a U.S. citizen and you want to vote and so on and so forth, then yeah, here, take this. Take that. You know what I'm saying? They in your pockets. They are in your pockets constantly. And I don't see I don't see any benefits. Because there are none. Again, I'm sure it's somebody that's listening who voted for Trump. Let me know where you at with it. If you voted for Trump, what have you? No, he only been in there for a minute. We had 19 airplane crashes. You understand? But futuristically, what do you think that you are going to gain from him being in the Oval Office? Right? Him having control over your 401k and your future Social Security, or some people is on SSI, some people is on SSD, disability and things of that nature. It's listen to me. There is nothing patriotic about Trump or Elon. You cannot reference Elon when talking about somebody who was a patriot for their country, because Elon evaded the South African military draft. He ditched the draft and took his ass to Canada. Right? To my understanding, that's originally, I ain't gonna say originally because ain't no French, originally from Canada, right? But that's where his mother went. That's where her people are. So that's where he went to begin to attend one of their universities, right? And then he weaseled his way on down here to Stanford University. So again, how can you refer to somebody as being patriotic when they ditch their own nation's military draft? And that's, you say, well, that's Elon. That don't have shit to do with Trump. And you're right. It don't have anything to do with Trump. But Trump picked him. He appointed him to and created a new, he appointed him and he created a new department for Elon Musk to be the head of, to so-called slash some of this debt, right? At the same time, Elon Musk has gotten billions of dollars from the U.S. government, starting with Obama. Obama gave him so many million, right? Then Obama gave him some more money. And to my understanding, Elon Musk paid that money back, right? But as of today in 2025, Elon Musk has gotten hundreds of billions of dollars from the U.S. government, and now you're going to make him responsible for cutting Medicaid, Medicare, what you call food stamps now, the bridge cards and SNAP, and you know what I'm saying? Again, this is the wealthy in that Oval Office every 4 years, making sure that the wealthy get wealthier. And what happens to us? What happens to our people? Our people move closer to away from the middle class and closer to the poverty line. This is a system, a corrupt system. So it don't matter who in the fucking Oval Office. Number one, they're going to do their job and continue to make the wealthy wealthier. So it is 100% asinine. My brother Copper Tone, right? It is 1,000% asinine for you to be out here riding Donald Trump Ramboni. Oh, he made the little 13-year-old cancer patient, the little black boy, an honorary police officer. So you put a badge on a little melanated boy, right? You put that badge on him, right? You know what that badge is and where that badge come from, right? And I'm supposed to look at that as, well, Trump is all right. He done made he let the little cancer patient, the little black boy who wanted to be a cop, he let him be an honorary cop. And that's what y'all out here celebrating? You got me. Y'all, I don't know. I don't know. My computer is tripping. Big time. I'm trying to pull up pictures that I had, and it's not working out. My video ain't playing, which means I done said enough, right? Again, you got Trump. He's letting the white South Africans come over. Not only that, he's giving them billions of dollars, and he's giving you nothing. Planes is falling out the air like we've never witnessed before. The national debt, go look at the national debt clock when we get off here, and you tell me how many points has it declined since Trump has been in office, right? You go look at the stock market, the NASDAQ and all the rest of them, and you tell me, you know what I'm saying, the benefits of it plummeting to historical levels, right? Comparing it to April 22nd of 1932. Unbelievable. It is no way. Literally, ancestors are turning in their graves. I don't, my shit ain't working. Where is that? That don't make no sense. This is not working out, y'all. I don't see the pictures, the computer tripping. I ran all the spam viruses and everything, and it's still not doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm gonna try one more thing to see if that work out for me. If it don't, I'm gonna just have to bounce and we'll come back. I got time. Let me share some of these comments. Peace and love. Miss G, people are gullible and not smart enough to realize the truth. It's I'm with you, but the bigger problem is that they are on social media and they're seeing this racist satire and they don't recognize that it's satire and they think it's true. So they're rallying behind it, right? And this is the problem. Y'all are not vetting the information. You're not vetting, you just regurgitating shit. And again, that's the shit that really pissed me off. Y'all out here regurgitating. I hate nothing more than fake shit, right? And keep in mind, this is how, keep in mind, right? This is how Trump got in the Oval Office. Him hooking up with Elon, getting his little Twitter or tweeter or whatever y'all call that back in effect, right? Elon Musk has the ability to manipulate Twitter in favor of anything that he wants it to be in favor of. And with that being said, he has the ability to not just follow the algorithm, but create it. Okay? So your QAnon, your Proud Boys, your oath fakers, whatever you want to call them, when you look at leaders of these various organizations and you figure out that January the 6th, what they call it, resurrection, what they call it, the January the 6th, for me, that was the police versus the police. Because most of those people who went to the Capitol on the 6th of January, and what was that, 2020, most of those people were retired veterans or retired police officers. That's who the majority of that crowd was. So for them, you mean to tell me that melanated men, women, and children are on the same side as a bunch of retired and current police officers? That's what y'all telling me. Because those are the majority, that makes up the majority of the people who don't just support Trump, but push these narratives that y'all seem to ignore. You're gonna ignore the narrative, but support the racists. And again, I keep hearing the excuse that, oh, Trump not a racist. All the rappers used to talk about, the rappers talked about anybody who was rich. He said many rich people's names in fucking songs. Does that mean that they're not a racist? If I start caking for Tina Turner, that means he's not a racist? Name somebody else that's hella fucking wealthy and white who name we might have mentioned. And y'all act like they said Trump name in a thousand. His name is not in 1,000 fucking songs. Quite a few. Quite a few, but not to the degree that people are portraying it to be. He's not in that many. He's not mentioned in that many rap songs. And when they mention him, you're not saying, "Oh, Trump not racist. Racist. He's just a rich white man." No, they're mentioning his name because of his wealth. This is what hip hop during the era that y'all talking about began to become like this braggadocious type of, yeah, we always was braggadocious, but we didn't have mansions and Rolls Royces and things of that nature. I'm talking about the youth. We didn't have those things to be bragging about back then. Now we have some MCs who may be in their 20s or even their late teens and early 30s who have some, who are rich. I'm not gonna say they have some wealth because they ain't got no fucking wealth. They may be rich, right? So certain things have changed. Now we look up to anybody who has a substantial amount of wealth, and we turn them into some type of icon in the black community that don't have shit. And these same wealthy people who y'all caping for ain't doing anything for these particular impoverished communities, and they have no plans to do so. What Trump is going to do is continue to let and create legislate, excuse me, and sign executive orders where you can have more so-called white people move into the U.S. And not only that, when he's signing these executive orders, he is cutting them checks, but still haven't cut us no check. And I can say that's cool because I don't expect it. I don't expect it. But at the same time, with us knowing this, there's no way you should be supporting it or even having his name in your mouth. I would not be talking about him had it not been so many conscious people or people who I looked at as my brothers and my sisters supporting him. This shit is sickening. It's sickening to see that y'all support Trump and everybody who he appointed, right? But when it comes to Jasmine Crawford, or what's her last name, y'all? When it comes to her standing up and speaking her mind, whether you want to say, well, she not ghetto, she went to private school, let me tell you, the most gangsterous people that I know, being i.e. my mother and my father, they went to private school. I know plenty of people that went to private school that sold more dope than the law alive, right? Just because somebody went to Catholic school or other, or you went to Cranbrook, or you went to Liggett University, or you went to Country Day. You know how many gangsters I know niggas that's locked up right now that went to Country Day, who parents was one parent was a doctor, the other parent was literally a lawyer. They literally live in Birmingham, Michigan, moved their people out of the hood, and their son still grew up to sell dope. 4.0 average. One of the highest IQs out of all the other kids. These are schools, the schools that I just named don't have a lot of us in them. Their Country Day does not consist of a high percentage of melanated children, right? So again, to have your parents spend 20, 30, 40, 50,000 dollars a year for you to go to elementary and middle school, because you go to high school, especially at a Country Day and Cranbrook and Liggett University. Believe me, I know. I have people in my family who went to these schools. This is where my son was supposed to go. He started off at Jesus private school. You understand? So that don't mean shit. Because somebody went to a private school, that don't mean that they're less likely to commit crime. It should. It should. But from experience, what something should be and what it is two different things, right? Like we should be focused on us and active with uh, uh, a reclamation of our sovereignty and our land and what's owed to us, instead of being over there uh, uh, promoting somebody who has bad intentions, as he would say, very, very bad intentions, very, very bad people. I don't, say, Obama said Trump was giving him corporate welfare too long. See, again, like I said, these people are a bloodline. Obama and Bush are cousins. Obama's grandfather on his maternal side is first cousins with Prescott Bush, right? Which is the grandfather of the son Bush and the father of Daddy Bush, right? The one who was the vice president of Reagan. Am I right, y'all? Bush was the vice president of Reagan, and then he became the president. And then Clinton became the president. And then the son Bush became the president, right? So we just keep in mind when we're talking about Obama, a Trump, a Clinton, these people are a bloodline. You don't have to do a deep dive research to find any damn thing. Just like you don't have to do a deep dive research to find Obama's birth certificate. The lie about him not being a U.S. citizen and so on and so forth, that was created by your neo-Nazi skinhead organizations because they didn't want a melanated man, whether or not you consider him to be one of us or not. They somebody who was a hillbilly redneck don't give a shit that boy mama white and that boy is filthy rich and that he is the second cousin of George W. Bush. They don't give a shit about that. All he is a nigga. And they didn't want a nigga in Michelle Obama. They didn't want them in that White House. Regardless to the fact that Obama had no intentions of doing anything except for making wealthy people wealthier. Now you can feel how you may about the Obama healthcare. What do they call that? You can feel how you like about it. But that is not anything that any of these white candidates, presidential candidates would have ever done. Ever. And that is something that they allowed him to put on the books. And they couldn't wait to snatch the shit up. That's one of the first things that Trump did. The little trinkets that the Democrats gave you Negroes, Trump took all of that shit away. So your solution of, I'm tired of the Democrats. They ain't never did shit for us. We used us all these years. So to spit in their face, I'm going to vote for their cousin, Trump. That is the most incompetent shit ever. Makes no sense. And you will never make sense of it because it makes no sense. It will not, I don't know. The whole purpose of me doing this live, nothing is coming up, y'all. I don't know. That ain't it. That ain't it. That ain't it. So again, y'all have fun with that. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I see it, if I feel like addressing it, I will. But to keep arguing, and me, I'm not gonna argue with you. That for sure. Know that I'm not about to argue with you. I see what I see, and that's just what it is. Ain't nothing in this for us. Nothing. You would have been, and I'm gonna say what it is. You would have been better off, as far as black people. You would have been better off with Kamala. The issue that the reason I can understand the team switch is the fact that every 5 minutes the Democrats was on here talking about LGBTQUE and signing orders for them to get this, that, and the third. I understand that pain. But again, me, if that's your reasoning, then you skip over the original Trump saying that he was down with the rainbow people. Y'all forgot he said that? And now he done switched, which is fine. That's his choice. I don't care. Good for him. But he not good for us. Right? Nothing. Anything outside and other than you cutting the check and balancing the books, I don't want to hear the shit. And Donald Trump is not cutting the check and balancing the books. Matter of fact, he didn't want y'all to get the little $1,200 that y'all got for the stimulus. He didn't vote for that. The Democrats voted for that and got that pushed through. He tried to block the shit. So again, for all of you who are on Trump nuts, what you're doing, you are 100%. You are just as incompetent as a baby. Trump, no, not Trump. Trump. It was Elon Musk that ran the Canada too. Oh, you see, if Trump ran the Canada to invade the U.S., right? I don't remember that. I mean, of course, I wasn't born, but as far as that hasn't come up, and any, I can't remember seeing that in any. Now I know he didn't. He didn't participate. You know, I know, but Trump also was not in the military. And looking at his age, you know what I'm saying? It's a couple of wars that he could have fought in, like Kennedy. Uh, yeah, but I'm saying John and Robert Kennedy, they were in the military. They were Marines, if I'm not mistaken, and quite a few other presidents, but not Trump. There's nothing patriotic about that man. You boys is in it to make the wealthy wealthier. Period. Point blank. I don't know where all of my shit is gone. This is crazy. I see they tripping, but as I get back active with doing these lives, I guarantee it'll get better. You know? It will get better. I just don't understand how this is. Oh my God. We just took everything down. Now she want to pop up. This is crazy. Out of all the crazy stuff I done had happen in my life, this would never happen. Guarantee you. We talking about these pardons. You know this system is corrupt. Anytime you can commit the most heinous crimes, you can pay the president in order to get a pardon. And y'all want to vote for presidents and governors, and are you out your fucking mind? Yes, yes, we are. That's the wrong question. We are, because I'm out of my mind. I'm out of my mind, but I ain't retarded. We all have some people is just mentally unstable. I just put it that way. Some of us have our little kinks and shit that we deal with, especially being that we are living on a landmass that has been completely dominated. Whether you say that their numbers and their population, the percentage of numbers isn't what they say it is, you can do the census or whatever it is, you will have to admit that they done conquered this motherfucker. Yes, you would. Follow the money. When you follow the money, you shall get the answer. And when I follow the money and we see where the money is and where it ain't, you see who running shit and running it into the ground when it comes to us. It's almost like they know at some point that they gonna go home. We already got home. So if you know that you gonna have to go home, you don't have no problem with tearing my house apart before you leave. Because you ain't gotta live here. You don't have to be here. But as long as they are here, they are going to make every family member, every business partner and business associate, every political partner that fucks with them, they are going to make sure that some people are set. Any and everybody else are just victims that they are parasites of. Because where do you think the wealth is coming from? From you, you, and me. And the social security numbers that they, you know what I'm saying, pass around, them the same numbers that they use to be able to print their Federal Reserve notes. You and me are the reason that a fiat currency system exists. Now, if you see any of these trumpets or Trump himself speak against the a fiat currency system, at that point you still need to be very, yeah, you still need to be very, very wary. But we know that's not gonna do that. Even though, a lying shit for a nigga to tell, that's what my mama told me. Right? But if I lie to you once, that's on me. If I lie to you twice and tell you the same lie twice, 4 years later I tell you the same lie and you fall for it, then that's on you. And that's where we at. This shit is on us. And he's one of those criminals. Believe that. What we got? That's right. That's just like the elders. You got any elders in your family? And when you was little, when they turned their TVs off at night, they put a blanket or a towel over the screen of the TV because they told you if it can transmit, it can receive, and if it can receive, it can transmit. You just looked at them like they was crazy, like, oh, people crazy. But here today, that exact same information is being shared and spread all over social media. But when grandma and granddaddy was covering the TV up at night before they went to bed, you called them crazy, right? So I'm good. I'm used to being called crazy, but I'm also used to 5 and 10 years later, people coming back to me and telling me how right I was. You know what I'm saying? So I'll accept that. I'll accept those apologies, and I have. That's like people in your family didn't become Jehovah Witnesses, but decided that they were no longer going to celebrate Christmas and Thanksgiving and Ishtar, Isis, Offset, Ishtar. Oh, well, they wasn't celebrating that no more. So when you stop celebrating certain stuff, you see your phone start ringing. Certain people don't rock with you no more. Like if you was rocking with me because you wanted to be a Christmas present every, you wasn't for the right thing no way. So y'all got to look at this Trump situation the same way, right? You wasn't for the right thing no way. Not in no situation. All of this is like so bad. Okay, okay, okay. We gotta hear this before we stop. If it don't work this time, then I'll just give up for today. I'm gonna try it one more time, y'all. This is bananas. And look how it's moving. Oh my God. Nope. It ain't cooperating. So the lack of cooperation caused me to not be able to Now the shit wanna pop up. I'm gonna try one more time. One more again. Let me see. See if it's gonna work right or not. But I want to see somebody in the comments. Where old boy Copper Tone at? Cause I definitely tagged you in this. I see you responded and some a comment, which wasn't much of a comment. More of a statement is what it was. So where's that? Where we at? Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I got some. So at least I can put y'all on with this before I leave. Let me see. Boom. Share. Okay. How I take the comment down. Boom. All right. This is me all day. Right here. Come on. Where my picture at? Here we go. So this is what I shared and what I used to share all the time. Whether it was Biden, when Biden was in office, I dragged him the same way I dragged Trump. You understand? Every time Biden fell off a bike or tripped up or down the steps, or stuttered, or whatever it was, or when he said, if you're not black, you're not black if you don't vote for me. Whatever he did, I was on his ass just the same. Even though I will admit, no, I can't. I can't say I dislike Trump more than I dislike Biden. That I can't say. What I can and will say is, regardless to the fact that uh, Kamala may not be a foundational Black American or, a Cherokee, a Choctaw, Washita, Chickasaw, none of that, right? She's still melanated. God damn it, she got more melanin in her than Obama had. So I would much rather have seen somebody melanated in that position. So you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't feel bad when I talk shit about her ass. You see what I'm saying? Maybe I would feel more bad because I don't feel shit when I'm picking these facts about this white man, an 80-year-old white man. You think an 80-year-old white man is your savior, right? Now my brother Trick, I'm so man. Look here, I had a bone to pick with Trick since like 2001. You know, uh, yeah, I just heard I got some phone calls about some shit that he's supposed to have did to an elder, and it ain't sit right with me. So you know what I'm saying? As an MC, I was never a fan, but as an activist, you know what I'm saying? As an activist, I look at him in a different way, right? But as an MC, no, he was never no hell of an MC. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. But again, to get behind an 80-year-old white man and rally for him, for Trick to do that, y'all know it was a check involved. You say he was caping for Kid Rock. Oh, hey. I mean, he caped for Marshall Mathers, which is kind of a different story because we all knew the white boy. Eminem. I ain't never met Kid Rock. I know Eminem. I know the Insane Clown Posse. They put me on quite a few shows back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Pain hip hop shows. That's different. I ain't never seen Kid Rock running nowhere around Detroit ever, ever. That's it. Cause this video it ain't it's not acting right. But this I did get to show now. This is what I shared to my brother on his post that he had. Was taken from Mr. Trump, taken from Mr. Trump post, and of course he wrote me two paragraphs. And again, after I shared the fact that Trump signed an executive order to let the white South Africans over here And not only that, cut the white South Africans a check. What could you say as a black man after showing proof that Trump is he not just fucking with Elon, he fucking with all the white South Africans. And not only that, he's saying that the black people of South Africa have been racist against the white South Africans who ain't supposed to be there in the first place. So, uh, y'all can stay over there with that, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do over here. Is no one of my brothers, one of my Nation of Islam brothers told me like I already voted for Trump, and I gotta ride this out, and I gotta keep supporting it because I already gave the nigga my vote. So you in the sinking Titanic with a motherfucking feds on, you know what I'm saying? I'm already in the boat, so I gotta stay in the boat and sink. But while you in that boat sinking, Trump ain't sinking. Elon can lose 100 billion tomorrow and still be afloat. But if your ass lose 50,000 tomorrow, you're gonna sink. Some of us, not all of us. Again, you can't win. The system wasn't structured for you to win anyway. And every time the scales are somewhat balanced, they throw some more negative law in, and then whatever negative law that they put on the books, they have to put some positive law there as well, right? But they don't have to tell you where it is. And when you have millions of statutes and codes and so-called laws on the books, how long do you think it's gonna take you? You can hire 20,000 paralegals right now, and it is still weeks to find certain things. And I scratch that, not certain things. What I'm specifying for them to look for is going to take them a long time with the LexisNexis and the Bouviers and the St. Valentine's and the Henry Cavill Black's law dictionaries and their access to various university, whether it's Harvard Law Library, right? But Wayne State's Law Library is still going to take them a substantial amount of time to locate the positive law that we would need to position us, right? And by the time they find that, and we go to the Supreme Court with it, they're gonna put 20,000 more negative laws on the book that's going to modify the law that we are attempting to use, right? Or they're going to say that that's no longer on the books. Or you guys had only 100 years from this date to bring your case forward, right? Or to reestablish this estate, or to get that estate back, or to get, you know what I'm saying? This is what they have been doing to us decade after decade after decade throughout my entire existence. I've watched them renege a million times. So for you brothers and sisters to think that Trump is gonna put something on, we still got the what do you call the men that think they women and dressed up like the drag queens going into the kindergartens and the elementaries and shit reading stories to the Trump didn't stop that. It's still going on with him in office. And the number one thing that he didn't do, and if he was to do it, which is cut the checks to us in order to balance the books. Even if he did that, there's no way you can ever get me to say. Now, what he did do, he did sign an executive order to stop the boys or the men who think that they are women or girls from playing sports, right? with on the little girls' team. They was fucking them up. You gave the little girl a concussion with the volleyball and everything, right? But what I can see him or some of his offspring doing in the very near future is what should have been done in the first place instead of letting them go in the bathrooms and and all of this type of weird ass shit. Give them their own shit. Let them open up a gay NBA, NFL. Give them their gay. Let them pay for it, right? They own gay bathrooms or whatever the fuck else. You don't allow them to come in as men and play football, baseball, volleyball with women. So look forward to that. Look forward to your boy Trump being the owner of a rainbow sports team. But he say he not the gays now. When he carried the rainbow flag, I showed it to you in 2016. Trump, he said Trump for LMNOPTQPPE. I showed it to you already. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. If he don't get in the airplane and it fall out the fucking air, he will be the owner of the LMNOTQPFG sports team. Or one of his children or grandchildren will be one of the ones to create one of these teams so that these people who believe that a man not believe, first that knowing that a man is physically stronger than many women, that it's okay for them to play on a team with other women and injure them, give them concussions and shit. Let them willingly do that. Don't put women in a position where they have to participate in sports against men who think that they're women. But your physical strength and capability exceeds mine because you're a male. You're not a female, you're a male. So I guarantee you he will be capitalizing off of that. And the message that's on the screen, this is to all y'all who still foolishly believe that a system that was created to rob our ancestors and make them work for free, right? For centuries, this was being done for centuries, robbing them of their estates and turning them into plantations. For those of you who believe that this system can be changed for the better and benefit us, after we've watched for decades and we have historical accounts of centuries of that not fucking being the case, you go ahead and knock yourself out. Knowing about Wilmington, North Carolina, knowing that post Civil War, that we had control of the government, and most of those melanated men were Republicans, right? And what happened to them? Some of them end up getting murdered, right? They definitely got their asses thrown out of those seats, whether it was a Senate or a congressional seat. Our people, those seats were relinquished, right? So you want me now to be a Republican because the Democrats were the KKK? No, nigga, both of them is the KKK. This man, Trump, still has not apologized for taking out 3 ads in 3 of the biggest newspapers about the Central Park Five, calling them all everything but a child of God. Now that they have been exonerated, Trump still hasn't apologized for the shit. So y'all can go ahead on with that selective memory shit. I'm good on it. I'm good on it. If you feel the need to jump on anything that I put on a Facebook or YouTube or anything else, go ahead because I'm gonna cuss you the fuck out. I'm telling you now. From this point on, I'm showing no mercy to nobody. I wouldn't care if it was my grandma. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't care if it was your grandma or your grandfather. I don't care. At this point, I have no mercy. The same way this system don't have no mercies on our sons and daughters. Same way they had no mercy on our mothers and fathers and our grandparents and great grandparents. I don't have no mercy for none of you niggas caping for this system. None. I enjoy Jasmine Crawford or whatever her name is. When she go in on, because she don't just go in on the Republicans, she go in on the Democrats and call them pussies too. So anytime I can see a melanated woman who's sitting in one of them seats, put any of them in check, I'm gonna enjoy it feel better to me than when I see a 50-year-old man talking about how great Trump is. I would rather see that woman tell you how sadistic and evil and greedy these people are than to see somebody older than her talk about how these people are the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. Because even if you don't say anything great about him, just you mentioning him and you voted for him and blah blah blah, to me that's you saying that this man is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Because for you to cheerlead for an 80-year-old pale-faced man, knowing damn well he has the worst intentions for you and yours, then you deserve everything I'm gonna give you, because I'm gonna give it to you, guaranteed. Guarantee. So obviously nobody is gonna jump on here and defend, and this wasn't supposed to be, keep in mind, this bill wasn't based on how much I don't like Trump. And Trump no, it wasn't. It was based on a whole video that I was supposed to present to y'all, but it won't play. So with that, I'm gonna say peace.
YouTube, you fools try to limit me, muting and deleting channels, thinking that's the end of me. Y'all are not on my level, smaller than a centipede. This is my purpose, TBT is a ministry. I do not tire, my God gives me energy. Chose by Messiah, you believe, come get with me. Married to a black queen, we got the illest chemistry. Founded the Black Tube, and now we making history. Black Tube, 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 Black Tube. Black tube, 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 what? TBT, 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 what? TBT, 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 what? TheBlackTube.com. I'm a giant killer, son of an omniscient God who's realer. If this be the thriller in Manila, I'm Ali in his prime. It's showtime, go time, about to take what's mine. We are not with your agenda. We showing real.